Wait, something feels different.
What's the use in fucking trying?
And I'm alive because my parents had me. And I'm alive because my teachers taught me. And I'm alive because my best friends got me. But I'd be dead in a minute if you shot me. And I'm alive because my parents had me. And I'm alive because my teachers taught me. And I'm alive because my best friends got me. But I'd be dead in a minute if you shot me.
Welcome back to Another Bad Opinion, your mother's favorite podcast. And yes, as you just heard, we have a new intro song. That song's it's called We're All Dying, Want Some Juice by Post Sex Nachos. They just came out with their third ever album, I believe. It's called Your Second Favorite Boy Band. They started in my college town. And they're local, and they're super fucking good, super nice guys. And they were like, yeah, you can use this song as your podcast intro. I think it's a great fucking song, and I think it's gonna start off my podcast in a much more positive way than the last intro. Plus, everyone hated that last song, so there you go. There you go. We got a new song, and I'm excited about it. I'm pumped. I'll let you guys know right now before we get into anything. Normally I have like a little notebook sheet open that just gives me a general outline of what I was planning to do. I didn't write one of those today. I trusted myself just to remember what I was supposed to do. I'll be honest, I didn't want to record a podcast today. Hey, because, we're a family, and you deserve to know how I feel. And I think it's important for you guys to know that, I'm a human being too. I didn't really want to record the podcast today, but I knew if I didn't, I would never do it, and then the podcast would be dead. And I don't want that to happen. So we're here. There was really only one piece of news that I found, believe it or not. I know that's what every episode has been lately, but it turns out war kind of changes the news flow, at least on Twitter. And it just feels like there's nothing to joke about anymore, but whatever. So send in some emails. We need more advice things, because news is not working right now. We'll maybe get back to news eventually, but okay. The one story I did find, a bunch of Canadians are booking Ukrainian Airbnbs. They're spending a lot of money on Ukrainian Airbnbs, just as a way to support Ukrainians. They're not going to go stay in the Airbnbs, obviously, because there's a war, but that's just a way to give income to people in Ukraine who need it. So yeah, that was the one news story I found. You make a joke out of that. You try to be funny there. That's just a cool story. I'm just happy about that. That's just fun. Not fun. Fun is the wrong word. That's just nice. Generous, kind is the word I'm looking for. I'm a little low energy right now, aren't I? That new intro got me pumped up, but then I started talking about war, and believe it or not, things changed. Okay, what we are going to do today is I found a Buzzfeed article, good old Buzzfeed. Buzzfeed, I should just go to buzzfeed.com instead of going on any other, like Twitter or Google News. I should just go straight to Buzzfeed, because their shit just doesn't care about what's going on in the world, and it's all dumb. So this is called 35 Things That Happened Weeks Before the Pandemic That Will Make You Question Reality, Space, and Time. I've read a couple of these. I didn't want to read them all because I wanted to be surprised. I just wanted to make sure it was going to be a viable option on the podcast. And I still don't really know if it's a viable option on the podcast, but I waited until this morning to check and see if it was. So we're going ahead with it anyways. What I'm going to guess is this is just going to be a lot of me being like, damn, that's crazy how long that was ago. That's crazy how long ago that was a whole, it feels like yesterday, but that was a long time ago. Whoa, that was a major moment in my life, but for some reason it feels so recent, but yet it was not recent at all. It was a while ago. Whoa, I remember that happened and everyone thought it was going to be okay, but then turns out things weren't okay, and now we're here, and it's still kind of here. It's going away slowly, but I mean, I'm still wearing masks in class, and My friends are still getting COVID, and I got COVID. Whoa. So that's what I think this is going to be. So let's do it. Number 1, it's hard to believe, but Jennifer Lopez and Shakira performed at the Super Bowl halftime show just a month or so before the pandemic began. Whoa. Bro, I remember watching that Super Bowl and thinking, it's not like a pandemic's going to happen anytime soon. This is amazing. That's the one that the Chiefs won, right? I think it is. How about those Chiefs? We'll be back. Number 2, remember Charlotte Alberry? I don't. If you're on video, this is the picture. I don't know who the fuck that is, so I'm going to move on. She went viral on Feb 20, 2022. That's like 3 weeks before COVID. They put an asterisk in the O like COVID's a cuss word. Trump was acquitted on number 3. Trump was acquitted on both articles of impeachment by the Senate about 2 years ago. That's crazy. This says, remember this, and it's a video of Nancy Pelosi ripping a paper. I don't remember that happening, but apparently it's strange to think that not long after we would all be stuck inside. BuzzFeed, man. I love BuzzFeed. I love how they just don't fucking put any effort forth on their goddamn articles. It's amazing. Number 5, right before the pandemic, everyone was talking about Cheer like it was the biggest show on TV. Yeah, I remember that. You know that high school, or I don't know if they were high school, but the documentary about people cheering? Or is it even I don't even know if it's a documentary, honestly. I didn't watch it. I just burped. I burp a lot. I'm sorry, guys. But your boy's burpy sometimes. Let's pick the energy up, Ben. Hey, guys, I apologize. I'm sorry. I woke up. I didn't work out today. I'm recording this a little bit earlier because let me give you an insight into my schedule every Thursday when I record. I usually work out from 9 to 10 at my little gym where we have a class from 9 to 10. Then I come back here. Then I shower. That's why my hair is usually wet when I record the podcast. Then I have about an hour to record the podcast before I have therapy from 12 to 1. Okay? Usually I can export the audio of the podcast before therapy. So I at least have the audio exported. And then after therapy, I have to go edit the video, export that. Then I have class at 3:30 to 5, and then I have an improv show at 8. So it's a pretty busy day. It's tough to want. So why am I telling you guys this? What was the point of that? Well, now you guys know. I don't know where I was going with that. What I'm saying is early right now, and I'm tired, and I didn't work out. So my energy is different because I slept in an extra hour today. I woke up at 8:30, and I thought, no, your boy needs some fucking sleep because I can't sleep ever. So yeah, I'm sure you guys are pumped about that. How was that? How was that for you guys? Did you enjoy hearing that? Jesus, we're 8 minutes in. What have I said? Have I said a single funny thing? No. Number 6. We're only on number 6 of 35, and it's already 8 minutes. Number 6. Tiger King came out right at the beginning of lockdown, March 20 to be exact. It was the only thing keeping us sane. Yeah, Tiger King was fun. I had a funny idea. I was telling my friend this the other day. He's a documentary journalism student. He produces all my music, by the way. Nathan Gregg, shout out. He's a Doc J student. And, one of our professors, I've never had him. I don't know why I said our. One of his professors, Robert Greene, had like a documentary called Procession that was, it was shortlisted for an Oscar, and it didn't end up getting officially nominated. But, he's put his whole life into this documentary. It's been a long time in the process. And I thought, imagine being a documentary person and working your ass off to getting to this like pinnacle of your career, and you have like this amazing documentary that you've made and put your heart and soul into, and then you show it to somebody and they're just like, have you seen Tiger King? Tiger King's really fun. You should make stuff like Tiger King instead. So yeah, that's that. Ooh, I might have to talk to my therapist about my opinion of myself today. Number 7, another TV show that came out a trillion years ago is the first season of Love is Blind. I don't watch that show. The Invisible Man was in theaters then. I never saw that. Sonic the Hedgehog and Bad Boys for Life were playing too. Didn't see either of those. The Academy Awards were one of the last major events in pre-Rona world. Sick. Number 11, let's get credit where credit is due and remember that Laura Dern rightfully won. I don't remember who won. We were still making cast jokes then. People still make cast jokes. That's the most fucked up part about the pandemic is people are still making cast jokes. We were also still talking about Hustlers. Don't know what that is. We were also on a Parasite high. I'm still on a Parasite high. That movie's so fucking good. You should still be. Bong Joon-ho. Ben, you fucking piece of shit. Bong Joon-ho won an Academy Award and everyone was happy. He did not just win a Academy Award. Thank you very much. That motherfucker won them all. A pre-Rona Tom Hanks freaked out while they tried to cut off Parasite's Best Picture acceptance speech. Number 17, What a Time to Be Alive. You lazy piece of shit. That's not a fucking thing. Number 18, remember how everyone lost their damn minds over a relationship that has been over for almost 2 decades? It shows Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. I don't know what that is. Is this all just going to be about shit that happened at the Oscars? Billie Eilish also made this face while at the Oscars. Here's the face if you're on video. That's crazy. I can't believe that happened before the pandemic. Billie Eilish made a face. Whoa. Billie Eilish made a face and then the pandemic happened. That's crazy. Number 20. It's so weird to think that just before the pandemic, 7 people were still running for president. That's how running for the presidency works. I'm going to skip this because it's dumb. Also remember Mike Bloomberg. Yes, he is a person. He dropped out. He dropped out of the race on March 4th, which was like a week before lockdown. Whoa! One of the last major things that happened in a pre-COVID world was that Mr. Peanut died and then was reincarnated into Baby Peanut. That's actually pretty sick. That was actually a pretty sick moment. I know that's just marketing fucking with my brain, and I know that's just capitalism making me want to buy peanuts because they made a little baby peanut because Baby Yoda is all the rave nowadays. But I liked it. Fuck. Damn it. Capitalism got me yet again. The Pussycat Dolls, whether you know you're not reunited, I didn't know that. Jessica Simpson was constantly in the headlines for random parts of her book. I don't know who that is. Feels like a trillion years ago that we were trying to figure out if she got Nick Lachey a gift or not. I don't know what the fuck that means. At the end of February, just before lockdown, Megxit was announced. Good for you, Meghan Markle. Feel like forever ago. The Grammys happened before the pandemic. It's a picture of Lil Nas X and his cute little cowboy outfit. The Grammys happen every year. That's crazy. It always happens around that time, so it's really not that surprising that it happened before the pandemic, which started in March. Billie Eilish won a ton of awards. Yes, she did. And Lana Del Rey was dating a cop. What the fuck? Number 30, and Lana Del Rey was dating a cop? What? She also wore a dress from Dillard's, which was a whole other thing. BuzzFeed, what are you doing? What is this? Basically, it's just a bizarre award just to look back at the time. Did like a fucking 7-year-old write this? 2 years ago, social distancing wasn't in our vocabulary. Yeah, no shit. What is this? It's weird to think that we never used phrases or words like super spreader. Yes, this is what happened. Oh my God. No one talked about number 35. We were so innocent. No, we were not. Cops murdered black people on a daily basis. There were school shootings constantly. Nobody was fucking innocent. This is America, for God's sake. What a dog shit article. I'm so mad that I should have read through that whole thing. Shit. What did that take like 10 minutes for us to go through that dog shit article? Fuck. Ugh, I need more time. I need to hire an assistant to just find me stories that aren't fucking dog shit. Anyways, guys, we got an email, and if you would like advice from me, if you would like to write better shit than fucking BuzzFeed does, you can email me at bengivemebadadvice@gmail.com. Let me say that again for you, Tony. bengivemebadadvice@gmail.com. you can email me. And this is from my favorite listener, who's the title of this is, Would I Still Be Your Favorite Listener If I Was a Worm? Yes, you would. I don't discriminate. You can be any species you want to be and listen to this podcast as long as I get a listen. Dear Ben, I have finally decided to take your advice about getting back into the dating sphere. It's been a while since I pursued dating apps, and did I give you advice about getting into the dating sphere? I shouldn't fucking be giving any dating advice. It's been a while since I pursued dating apps, and I was never that successful on them to begin with. Any tips or tricks on building an enticing profile? You did get banned from Tinder, so I don't know how reliable your recommendations will be, but I'd appreciate any suggestions on crafting an effective electronic mating call. I love your emails. They're so fun. We should be friends. Advice on dating profiles. I think post a picture showing off your turtle if you have a pet turtle. Feet pics are always a plus. I'd say make sure that you're taking a picture with a group of people that look kind of similar to you, and make sure that all of your pictures are just that except for the last one, because then nobody knows who you are except for the last one, and then they finally realize it and they're mad at you that they haven't figured that it took them that long to figure it out. I would say you could, always make sure that you put your statistics in your bio. Say I'm a 7 out of 10 on personality, an 8 out of 10 on head giving, and I'm going to stop there. If you have any guns, make sure you let people know that you own guns by posting a picture of your guns. If you fish, make sure let people know that you fish. Any animal that you've killed, you should post on your Tinder. Okay, but seriously though, I'm trying to think if there's any other advice I have. I don't know. Post a picture of you when you're at your sickest. I think that's a good idea, because then they'll be able to love you when you're sick, because that's what they swiped on. No, real talk on dating apps. I think it's really easy to try to make a profile that pleases others. But what you want to do is make a profile that pleases you, and that will attract people that will please you. Because if you aren't authentic, if you aren't being yourself, if you're trying to make it so that people will get matched with you, the people you match with aren't gonna vibe with you in reality. So you gotta make sure you're making, like, for instance, I'm gonna expose myself here. My current Bumble bio is a woman should know her place. ... presidency, #pick me, #I'm with her. Because I think that's a hilarious bio. I don't get a lot of matches on Bumble, but every time I do, people think it's a funny bio. So there you go. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Be yourself. I'm going to expose myself again. There's a prompt on my Hinge profile. Fuck Tinder. I don't have a Tinder. Tinder sucks. You shouldn't use Tinder. You should never use Tinder again. No one should ever use Tinder. It sucks ass, and they're bad people. My Hinge profile, the prompt is a shower thought I've recently had, and my response is, damn, I'm in the shower right now. And some people really like that. A lot of people don't, but the people that do will like me more, and I will like them more because we vibe. It's not about being someone who people can like. It's about being yourself and finding someone who likes you. That's Ben's keys to success on dating apps. Also, if you've ever killed an animal, put a picture of it on your profile, because there's nothing more that I love than when I'm swiping on my dating apps and I get to see a nice murdered animal. I love seeing murdered animals, and I love when they hold it with their little camo on and their orange little beanie or whatever the fuck it is, and they're holding the dead animal with pride because they murdered an animal, and that's a prideful thing. They should be so happy about that, and it makes me feel really good when I see it. So if you've ever killed an animal, make sure that you put that on your profile. Cool, let's move to r/advice. Again, you can email me at bengivemebadadvice.com. My high school students want me to teach them life skills not taught in regular school. But what do you think they need to learn before they graduate? They need to learn how to make a podcast. I think you should go on a 3-week intensive course on how to make a podcast, and how to say things like, you can go to mokufoods.com and use code BENP15 for 15% off your shroom jerky order. Did you get that? You can go to mokufoods.com and use code BENP15 for 15% off your shroom jerky order. That's right. Who needs beef jerky? It's bad for the environment. Some people can't eat it because they're vegetarian, vegan. Why would you not just want a nice, healthy mushroom that's going to make you feel good and taste exactly the same as beef jerky? And you can use the code BENP15 for 15% off at checkout at mokufoods.com. That's MOKU foods.com. You can teach them to say things like that. Did I just do my first ever ad read? Technically, they didn't hire the podcast. They just hired me as an influencer. Teach them to be an influencer, though, because that's the only viable job option at this point. Teach them to be hot. If they're not hot, you should say, hey, man, you got to figure that shit out. You got to do something, because it's not going to be good for you out there if you don't figure something out soon. You should teach them comedy. Teach them stand-up, improv comedy, stand-up comedy, because that's very viable. You should, if they really want life skills, you should teach them how to sit in a fucking box for 8 hours a day and do nothing and wither away. Let's move on to the next one. My teacher wants to call the police. Can someone help? I found £1. This is from Britain. I found £1 on the floor at my teacher's room and told my friend who's sitting next to me, and the teacher overheard me and told me to put the £1 on his desk. I refused to, and he told me that he knows who it belongs to. That was last Thursday, and it's now Wednesday. And for the past week, he keeps telling me that he's going to get the principal involved or call the police if I don't give it back. I told the teacher that if he tells me the kid's name, I'll give it back to him personally. But the teacher tells me that it's his job to give it back to the student. Should I keep the pound or give it back to him? Just keep the pound, mate. Just keep the pound, mate. It's a pound. You really think your teacher's going to call the cops? Cops got bigger things to handle, innit? That teacher's getting way too big for his boots. You got to let him go. All right, mate. Come on, bruv. You're not thinking. You're not thinking well enough. You got to think. Your teacher's not going to do shit if he hasn't done shit by now. Come on, mate. So, yeah, that was the episode. My official advice is if you've ever killed an animal, make sure you show it to everybody. Make sure if you've ever brutally murdered an animal for your own personal happiness and personal gain, because for some reason it makes you feel powerful that you murder animals, you should make sure everyone knows. That's my official advice. I'm going to hand it off to Post Sex Nachos in a minute to say goodbye. They're not going to say anything. I just meant the outro song's new. It's the same song as the intro song, but it's not the same outro as last episode. My official advice is we're all in this together. Let's have some fun. I'll see you guys next week. Stay hydrated.
And I'm alive because